Good morning, students. Welcome to another session of General Science. And today in this session, we will complete our chapter, lesson number 5, that is plant reproduction fertilization. So before that, let us take a quick recap what we have already learned in our previous session. So in your previous session, students, I have explained you the structure of a seed. Okay, that is the seed has the outer covering, that is seed coat. Inside you have the cotyledons, and inside the cotyledons you have the tiny young plant or the embryo. Then you had also learned how you can grow a new plant from a seed. That is the process in which a seed grows into a young plant, that is called as germination. Now, in today's topic, we will cover another two important topics today's session. That is, first topic is how we grow the plants without the seeds. Okay, how to grow a new plant without the seeds. And the next one is seed dispersal. Okay, so let us first move towards the reading portion, that is we are going to cover in today's section. Growing plants from stem, roots and leaves. Not all flowering plants depend on their seeds to reproduce new plants. Sometimes new plants can grow from stems, roots or leaves of the parent plants. Plants from stem. The stems of rose, hibiscus and money plant can be used to grow new plants. Potatoes and ginger are examples of underground stems. These can also be used to grow new plants. Potatoes and ginger have eyes on them. If we cut a piece of potato having an eye on it and put this piece in soil, a new potato plant will grow out of this piece. Plants from roots. Some roots, like those of sweet potato, dahlia, carrot and radish, can give rise to new plants. If we cut the top portion of a carrot and plant it in the ground, new plant will grow from it. Plants from leaves. Sometimes new plants can grow from leaves. Bryophyllum is a common example of a plant which produces new plants from its leaves. Tiny buds grow in the margin of the parent plant. After some time, they fall off on the ground and grow into new plants. Each bud can give rise to a new baby plant. Seed dispersal. Fruits contain seeds and seeds give rise to new plants. If all the seeds of a plant fall just beneath it in the same place, they will not get enough nutrients, space and warmth to grow. Therefore, it is important that these seeds are distributed over a wide area where they stand a better chance of finding the right conditions to grow. The process by which seeds are carried to the new places away from the parent plant is known as seed dispersal. Dispersal means the scattering or distribution of something. Depending on the type of the seed and many other factors in nature, there are many ways of dispersal of seeds. We can divide it into 4 types: wind dispersal, water dispersal, animal dispersal and explosion or bursting. Dispersal by wind. Some seeds are carried to a new place by the wind. These seeds are very light, like the seeds of the orchid, which are almost as fine as dust. Many seeds, like that of dandelion, have hairy growths which act as parachutes and carry the seeds far away in the wind. The fruits of sycamore have winged seeds and are dispersed by the wind. Dispersal by animals. Some plants have juicy fruits that animals like to eat. Only the juicy, fleshy part of the fruits is digested inside these animals' bodies. The stones and pips are excreted and produce new plants. This can take place far away from the parent plant as animals keep roaming about. Blackberry, cherry, apples, etc. are dispersed in this way.
Birds also help to disperse the seeds through their droppings. Some fruits, like that of the burdock plant and datura, have seeds with hook-like structures. These seeds catch on to the fur of animals and are carried away with the animal. Human beings also eat fruits like orange, mango, and plums. The fleshy part of the fruit is eaten and the seeds are thrown away. When the seeds get the right conditions, they germinate. Dispersal by water. This method works for seeds which can float in water. Coconut seeds are covered with fibers which trap air, enabling them to float. These seeds can travel thousands of kilometers across seas and oceans. Seeds of lotus and lily are also dispersed by water. Dispersal by explosion. Some plants have pods which explode or burst open when ripe. This mode of dispersal of seeds is called explosion. It causes the scattering of the seeds away from the parent plant. Examples of such plants are ladyfinger, peas, beans, and balsam.
Okay, students. So in today's session, we will first of all learn that how we will grow the plants without the seeds. Okay. So see, sometimes the plants are grown from different parts of the plants. Okay, we can grow a new plant using different parts of the plant. Okay, so we will see that how different parts of the plants can be used to grow a new plant. First of all, we will learn to grow a new plant from roots. First one we will learn from the roots. So see, carrots and radish. You all have eaten, isn't it? That's a very tasty fruit, that vegetable that you get. Okay, so see, how to grow carrots and seeds. Radish. Do you get seeds in the carrots? No. Then how does a new plant come from it? See, if you cut the top portion of the carrot, see, carrot is of this shape. Okay, and it has a leaf on the top. Okay, the leafy portion on the top. So see, if you cut this portion and put it into the soil, okay, you cut only the top portion and put it into the soil, what will happen? That is that this is the leafy portion that you have put into the soil. Okay, what you will see, this will grow in the downward direction and a complete carrot will come out of it. Okay, that is if you put only the top portion, you will see that slowly the root, that is the fruit that you eat, the vegetable that you eat, that grows down. Okay, and a complete carrot you will get from the using the leaves or the top portion. Is it clear to you all? Same is with the radish also. That is, if you just cut the top portion and put it into the soil, you will get a complete vegetable coming out of it. Alright. Now, next is, I'll go a little fast with the portions, students. Okay, it's quite simple and easy. So see, next one is how to grow from stem. How to grow the plants from the stems. See, you are growing a rose plant at home. Okay, how do you think the rose plant grows? See, if you take a small portion of the rose stem from a plant, okay, and that stem if you put into the soil, you will see from that small branch a complete new plant will grow. Isn't it? So that is how we can grow a plant from using just the stem of the plant. Clear? See, hibiscus. Alright, that is also if you take a small branch, okay, take a small branch, small stem from the young plant from a fully grown plant of a hibiscus and put that stem into the soil. Okay, after few days you will see that just from the small stem a complete new hibiscus plant you will get. Clear? Now see, potatoes you eat at home. Okay, potatoes. You must have seen that the potatoes have a white portion sometimes coming out of it. Okay, whitish portion you may see on the top of the potatoes, means on the above of the peel. Okay, the above the skin of the potatoes you can see a whitish structure coming out like this. Okay, what is that called? This portion, that top portion, that white portion that comes out, that is called the eye. Okay, that is called the eye of the potato. Okay, it's the eye of the potato. Now, if you have to grow a complete potato, what you have to do is just, there is one activity also given in your book. You cut the potato into several pieces. Okay, and make sure each potato has an eye in it. Okay, each of the pieces that you have cut has an eye in it. Now, if you put this individual, means even if one portion you put into the soil with the eye in it, okay, suppose you have taken one portion, okay, suppose this portion you have taken and it has this eye in it. If you put it into the soil, okay, after a few days you will see this will grow into a complete potato. Is it clear to you all? So this is how from the stem you can grow a complete new plant. Ginger you eat, okay, adrak. Okay, ginger also, if you put a small portion of the ginger into the soil, you will get a complete new plant growing from it. Okay, so this is how you can grow a plant from the stem. Okay, from the root, how you can grow is you take just the top portion and put it, you will get a complete new fruit or vegetable coming out of it. That is in carrots or radish. Now from stem, just take a small cutting from the young plant, and that cutting if you put into the soil, you will see after some days a complete new plant coming out of it. Clear? Okay. Now the next portion is how we can grow a new plant from the leaves. You must be wondering how we can grow a new plant from just the leaves. So see students, there is a leaf called Bryophyllum. Okay, there is a leaf called Bryophyllum, and the structure of the leaf is such that, suppose this is the leaf. Okay, on the edges you will get small bud-like structures like this. The picture is given in your book also. Okay, small buds grow on the edges of the leaf. Okay, these small buds will grow all over the edges of the leaves. Okay, now what happens when this bud, okay, this will get detached, okay, or it will separate from the leaves, and this bud will fall on the soil. Suppose this is the soil. Okay, so what will happen once this bud falls from the leaf, okay, and it falls on the soil, a complete new plant will grow from this. Is it clear to you all? So this is how we can grow a new plant from the leaves of the plant. Okay, Bryophyllum is one such plant, okay, where on the edges of the leaves you will find small buds coming out. Okay, small buds you will find. If you see at the picture is shown in your book also. Okay, so if you see that picture carefully, you will see small buds all over the edges of the leaves. Okay, these buds, they will separate from the leaf, okay, separate from the parent leaf, and once they fall on the ground, what will happen? From this small bud, a complete new plant will come out. Is it clear to you all? So this is how you can grow a complete new plant from the leaves. Okay, so let us recall. That is, when we have to grow the plants without seeds, we have first of all we have learned from the roots. Okay, from roots, get what examples you have learned? That is, you can grow carrots. Okay, also you can grow radish. Okay, these two are the vegetables that can grow from the roots of the plant. Okay, then from stems. From stems, or you say from stem cutting. So from stem cuttings, what you have learned? Rose you can grow. Okay, then hibiscus. Okay, potatoes and etc. Clear? And the third one we have learned is from the leaves. Okay, that is from the leaves, edges of the leaves, the buds will separate out. Okay, and a new plant will come out from it. So one such example is bryophyllum. Is it clear to you all, students? So this is how we can grow the plants without using the seeds of the plants. Is it clear? Okay. Now let us move towards our next topic, that is seed dispersal or dispersal of seeds. Okay, students. So the next and the last topic from the chapter is seed dispersal. Okay, so before that, let us first learn why is this needed. See, suppose, okay, this is a plant, okay, having many fruits in it, okay, having fruits in it, and they have seeds. Suppose if all the seeds of the plant fall on the same place, okay, if all the seeds of the plant fall at the same place, means nearby the plant, what will happen? All of these seeds will get overcrowded, okay, and the new plants that will come out, they will be very near and they won't get sufficient space to completely grow. Okay, that is the new plants which will be coming out. They will all grow near this plant, near this tree only, means they will not have sufficient space also to grow properly. Isn't it? They will be overcrowded at one place. Okay, first condition is overcrowding. They all will gather, means they won't get sufficient space to grow, and there will be overcrowding of the seeds, okay, and the plants. Then another thing, each of these seeds will require sufficient amount of sunlight and water and minerals from the soil, isn't it? So the seeds, these seeds they will get a competition for getting sufficient amount of water and minerals. Okay, many seeds will be there. So what will happen? They won't, means the seeds won't get sufficient amount of water and minerals. Isn't it? Because many seeds will be there. So it won't be possible for all the seeds to get sufficient amount of water and minerals from the soil. Okay, so second condition that will arise will competition for water and minerals among the seeds. Isn't it? First will be due to overcrowding. Okay, means all the seeds will grow at the same place and they will be overcrowding near the plant. Okay. Second will be there will be competition for the water and minerals, and ultimately none of the seeds will get sufficient amount of water and minerals and they won't be able to grow properly. Okay, so to avoid these two conditions, that is overcrowding of the seeds and the competition for water and minerals, the seeds need to be carried to distant places. Okay, that is, the seeds, if they are carried to some distant place, okay, suppose from this tree, some seeds are carried to distant places, means away from the parent plant, they will get sufficient space to grow, okay, plus there will be less competition for water and minerals, because at new place they will get sufficient water and minerals to grow. Okay, so this process of carrying seeds away from the parent plant is called seed dispersal. Okay, seed dispersal simply means scattering of seeds. Scattering of seeds, or in more easy way, you can say that dispersal of seeds means carrying away
carrying away of seeds from the parent plant. Okay, carrying away of seeds from the parent plant means from the parent plant, if the seeds are carried to faraway places or distant places, that process is called as dispersal. Okay, and what is the main reason for dispersal of seeds? That is to prevent overcrowding of the seeds. Okay, the seeds won't gather at the same place, and this overcrowding of the seeds will be prevented. And second is there will be less competitions for water and minerals among the seeds. Okay, so that means every seed will get sufficient space to grow. Is that clear? Sufficient space, they will get sufficient water and minerals. Okay, now next we will learn how this seed dispersal is carried out. Just like we have agents for pollination, here we have agents for dispersal of seeds. So let us see how the seeds are dispersed or what agents are required to carry the seeds away from the plant. See, the first one is wind. Okay, dispersal by wind. So see, as I have explained to you in pollination, the seeds which were the pollen grains, when they were pollinated by the wind, what happened? What characters were there of the pollen grains? They were very light. Okay, so that they can be easily carried by the wind. Here also, for the seeds to be carried by wind, they need to be very light. Okay, the first feature for dispersal is seeds are very light. Okay, the seeds are very light. So what happens when strong wind will blow, the seeds will be carried away with the wind. Milkweed, madar, have you seen? Okay, madar, that is, if you see, they have a hairy structure. Means the seed is in the center, brownish. Okay, and they have a hairy structure like this. I think mostly you must have seen this structure. Whenever you sit in the class, okay, sometimes very strong wind blows and this hairy structure you get to see coming. Sometimes you play also in the class, no? With that. Okay, so this is the seed of a milkweed. Okay, in the center you will get a brownish seed. Okay, and it has all tufts of hair. Okay, it has all hairy structures growing. So this feature makes it very light. So what happens when the strong wind will blow? The seed will also blow away with the wind, and when they will fall at a new place, that place a new plant will grow. Clear? So the first character for the seeds to be dispersed by wind is seeds are very light. Second feature is dandelion. Okay, dandelion picture is also given in the book. If you see carefully, it is already given. So dandelion is a dandelion plant have seeds which are like parachutes. Okay, they have parachute structure. Parachute structure means if you see the seeds, okay, here will be the seed and they will have a structure like this. Hairy structure, okay? No, not that. Okay. They will have a hairy structure on the top, okay? And here will be the seed. Okay, that means the structure is just like a parachute. Okay, so this is also very light, and when the wind will blow, this parachute, the hairs means on the top, they act like a parachute, and here the seed at the bottom is attached to it, so it will be easily carried away by the wind. Is it clear to you all? Okay. Next is wing structure. This is the third feature. Okay, winged structure. Now, one more, that is sycamore. Okay, how to explain you? If you see the picture in the book, you will get the idea of it. Okay, so they have the seeds of sycamore plant. They have wing-like structures. Okay, the seeds will have wing-like structures, just like a butterfly, or you can say a wing. So, what happens? This feature of the seed, of the sycamore seeds, also help it to fly and fall at a
new place. Okay, so these are the three features of the seeds which are dispersed by wind. That is, first of all, the seeds need to be very light. Then some seeds have parachute-like structure, like that of a dandelion. And some have wing structure, like that of a sycamore. Is it clear to you all? Okay. Now, next that I am going to teach is, that is dispersal by next agent, that is by the animals. Now see, dispersal by animals is the very common to you all. You all see also. See, sometimes animals or the birds, when they eat the fruits, okay, the fleshy portion of the fruits that gets digested in their body. Okay, but the seeds are not digested. Okay, and what happens? These seeds are excreted out from their body. Okay, the seeds are not digested by their body and they excrete out the seed. Okay, the fleshy portion they are able to digest. So what happens? Sometimes when they excrete out, these seeds fall with their droppings. Okay, so seeds are excreted. That is the first way. Okay, seeds get excreted from the body of the animals, and wherever they will fall, a new plant will come out. Okay, so that is the first way how the seeds get dispersed by the animals. Clear? Now see, another feature if you see, sometimes they eat the fruits, okay, and in their droppings, okay, they drop out the seeds. They will eat the fruits, okay, and they will drop out the seeds here and there. They will scatter the seeds here and there, especially like animals, like monkeys if you see. Okay, they will eat the fruit and they will throw the seeds here and there. Okay, means throwing seeds. That is the another way. Okay, throwing the seeds. Like you all, monkeys I told you, that is they are eating the mango and they will throw the seeds here and there. Wherever the seed will fall, a new sapling or a new plant will come out. Okay, you are also, mango season is coming. Okay, so what happens? We eat the fleshy portion, and if the seed, you don't eat the seeds. No, what you do? You throw it here and there. So if you put the seeds in the soil, okay, what will happen? After some days, you will see a small plant coming out from the seed. Don't expect to throw it on the floor and get a new seed, a new plant. Okay, you have to throw it on the soil. So once it will fall on the soil, you will get to see a new plant coming out of it. Okay, so this way, some of the seeds like the apple, mango, okay, these are the fruits which seeds are thrown. It means they are thrown away by the animals or sometimes even by the humans. Okay, and a new plant will come out. Next is, some seeds have hooks in them. Okay, like a burdock plant. What is the meaning of hooks or spines? See, you must have seen the tail of the cows. Okay, if you see the tail of the cows, they have sometimes seeds and this type of structure attached to their body, isn't it? That is sometimes green in color or sometimes brownish in color. Okay, so these are the seeds of the plants, especially burdock plant. Okay, they have hooks or spines on them. So what happens when the cows or any other animals, they move along the seeds, these seeds get stuck to their body. Okay, these seeds will get stuck to the body of the animal, and when they will move to a new place, in that way the seed will fall to a new place, and this way dispersal will take place. Okay, that is, they are carrying the seed away from the parent plant. Is it clear to you all? So these are the three features, especially how seeds are dispersed by animals. That is, either they will eat it and excrete out in their droppings, and this way the seeds will be falling to a new place and dispersal will take place, or they eat the fruit and throw the seeds here and there. In this way also dispersal takes place. And the third is, that is, they will have hooks, seeds will have hooks or spines which will get attached to the body of the animal or even sometimes humans. And when they will go to a new place, sometimes this will fall down to the new place and dispersal will take place. Is it clear? Okay. Now, next agent for dispersal is dispersal by water. So see, mostly the water plants, means the plants that are growing in water, are dispersed by water, like lotus and lily. Okay, so what is the feature of such plants? See, if you see one example, if I take coconut. Okay, coconut grows in water, isn't it? So what happens? The fruit, means the coconut, that is covered with fibers. Okay, if you see the coconut seed, okay, the seed is only the part that you are eating. If you see the coconut seed, that is covered with fibers. Okay, the brownish cover you see of the coconut, isn't it? So that is covered with fibers. What happens with these fibers? What is the benefit of these? These fibers, the outer covering of the coconut, they will trap air inside. Means, okay, they will trap air, and what happens? Once it traps air inside, it becomes very light. Okay, this becomes very light and the seed will float on the surface of water. In this way, it will float on the surface, and from the parent plant, suppose this is the parent plant, so from the parent plant, it will be carried to distant place and there it will grow. Okay, coconut mostly grow nearby the seashore, isn't it? So what happens? Once the fruit will fall on the in the water, on the means in the seas or in the oceans, their fruit structure is such that they will trap air inside. Okay, once they will trap air, the seeds will become very light and they will float to distant place. Wherever they will fall, a new plant will come out. Okay, same is with the lotus and lily also. Okay, the seeds are such having such structure that they can easily trap air in them, thus making them very light and easy to float on the surface of water. Thus, in this way, they are carried from one place to another. Okay, let's move to next agent of dispersal. Okay, so your next agent is dispersal by explosion. See, have you seen the seeds of the peas? Okay, how it is getting dispersed. So see, the peas, okay, they have seeds enclosed in the covering. Okay, the seeds are inside the cover. What happens when these seeds, they get ripened? Okay, when they get ripened, what happens? Their covering, they will burst out. Okay, they will burst out, and once they burst out, these seeds will fall in different directions. Okay, when they will fall in different directions, so wherever they fall, a new plant will come out. So this is dispersal by explosion. That is basically the peas or the ladyfinger also. Ladyfinger also, if you cut, you can see small seeds in it. Okay, so how they are dispersed? Once the vegetable or the fruit, they are getting completely ripened. Okay, they get completely ripe. What happens? The fruit will explode. Okay, and the seeds present in the fruit will fall in different directions. Wherever they will fall, a new plant will come out. That is why this agent is termed as explosion, because in this case, the seeds, means the fruits, explode. Okay, the fruits mature, they get ripe and they explode. Once they explode, the seeds will fall in different directions and hence they will be carried away from the parent plant. Okay, students, so this is the end of your chapter. Today we have covered the 4 agents of dispersal, that is wind, water, animals and explosion. Also, I have taught you how to grow the plants from other parts of the plant, that is from the roots, stems or from the leaves. So, this is the end of your chapter. Study well. I have uploaded the question answers on the site today. Okay, exercises also you will find it So try to complete the work, okay, and do it properly. Okay, diagrams also are attached with it. So try to complete your work properly. Okay.